Hello, I'm Mr. Rathbone and I'm going to explain what we can offer you for your options from the computing department. We have two options, computer science and creative iMedia. Firstly, I'm going to explain computer science. Computer science builds nicely on some of the work you studied in Key Stage 3. So you'll learn how a computer works, and you covered this when you looked at binary, RAM and ROM. When you looked at how computers talk to each other through networking. So the first part of the course will look at those aspects of modern computing. As well as that, you'll look at how computers solve problems. So where you've programmed a computer with Scratch or Python and you've developed your own algorithms, your own steps of instructions to solve problems, computer science looks at that in a lot more detail. Okay, so let's look at how the course is split into two main sections. Component 1 will look at the theoretical aspects of computing, how a computer works, how it stores data, how it can communicate with other computers. It will look at security and software that the computer runs, as well as hardware. This component also touches on ethics and legal issues surrounding modern computing. So for example, what do we do once we're finished with a computer? How do we dispose of it responsibly? And this component is tested with an examination worth 50% of your mark. Component 2 is the problem solving section of the course, which looks at developing algorithms. This is supported by 20 hours practical programming experience that you have in the classroom, and this will develop the skills required to tackle this part of the course. This part of the course really builds skills that employers look for, and a lot of people find this the most enjoyable and challenging aspect of the course, but very worthwhile. Again, this examination is worth 50% of your final mark. On the next slide, there is a video where there'll be an explanation of what computer science is. Please feel free to watch it. There's a link on the bottom of this slide as well to the course specification. And if you want any further information about the course, then please don't hesitate to come and see me.
Computer science is the art of teaching a computer what to do. I'll start with something similar, like a screwdriver is a tool that is made to kind of turn screws, and on its own it's useless. You have to take it in your hand and kind of turn it to make something happen.
A computer actually learns a set of instructions and actually transform that into a way of showing a movie or playing an audio file or delivering Facebook. And that whole study of how the computer thinks is computer science.
It's code, and so code is a bunch of symbols and letters, but it's really more like a language.
I got here from Puerto Rico and I didn't know English, so I had to spend a lot of time trying to perfect my English. Programmers do the same thing. They learn new languages to do new things. They are inputting this language and these instructions into the computer so the computer can do what they want them to do.
Growing up, I was one of the very few people who had access to a computer around me. And I remember being bored one day and I picked up this book that was near the computer that said basic programming. And they had this really simple getting started, a hello world program that you could write in BASIC. And I remember writing it and recognizing that, wait, hold on, I just put this thing in and taught this computer how to do that, and it came back out. And I had my brother come in and use it. And he's like, oh man, you made the computer say hello? It's like, yeah, I did. Isn't that cool?
In our everyday lives, you speak language and you use that to communicate and instruct when you're around people. Similarly, a programming language is exactly the same thing. It's just a language that you'd use to talk to the computer.
And think about the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning. Let's say it's an alarm clock. There are instructions that somebody put into that alarm clock to teach it how to tell time, how to respond to you hitting the snooze button. You're walking out the house and you jump in your car and you start it. There are lots of computers in there figuring out how to turn the engine the very first time, how much gas to put in. This set of instructions that people have put into all these little devices you've used throughout your day just made your day that much easier to get through.
You want directions, or you're dialing a phone number, you're actually interacting with a computer to solve the problem at hand. That's computer science and programming right there, every day, in your hand.
Programming and computer science is one of the best ways to have impact in the world. There is no other career, no other field where you can touch so many people's lives with just a simple software or a simple app. And it's specifically also important for diverse communities to be involved because of the fact that computers are everywhere, programming is everywhere, and we want an equal representation when we are building programs.
We need people who have a broad range of perspectives to find different solutions.
Creating products for the people, you need to be the people. And if we hope to have products out there that really serve our needs, we need to be involved. Programming, learning computer science, and being part of the creation process of this new wave of innovation.
Okay, so the next course we offer is Cambridge Nationals in Creative iMedia. This course often appeals to people who like computers, but also have a creative flair. It's a practical course and involves a considerable amount of coursework and also an external exam. Media is everywhere, whether it be social media, websites, TV, computer games, animations. And this course provides you with the skills and knowledge required to develop your own multimedia product. Okay, so let's look at the course breakdown. The course has 4 units. The first unit, pre-production skills, is assessed by a written exam paper. That looks at things like developing a design brief, storyboards, identifying who is your target audience, what colours are you going to use for that target audience, what navigation system are you going to use, and can you make that product accessible for your target audience. The second unit, again worth 25% of the exam, is where you develop your own computer graphics based on a design brief. Developing your graphics, you'll then assess and evaluate the success of the product you develop. 2 further units are also studied. Currently, students have been studying developing a multi-page website and developing an animation. Again, you'll go through the process where you'll develop a design brief for a specified target audience. You'll then go on to develop your graphics and evaluate the success of the product you develop. The course is very practical and hands-on, and sometimes students who have an artistic flair really get something out and enjoy this course. It will teach you how to work to deadlines and to follow a specific design brief. One element of it is the exam, 25%, and 3 units are practical coursework, so it does favour the students who enjoy working with coursework. If you need any more information on this course, if you go and see Mrs. Ramsdale or Mrs. York, they are currently teaching it, and of course you can come and see me. If you'd like to click on the link at the bottom of this slide, you can have a link to the full specification should you need any further details.